Let me tell you about my guests tonight, which are Darwin Bernardo and Rui Octavio, from co-founders of Nutmeg Community. Later on, we also have Naweed Shams and Marla Malkin. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing these names right. And they're from Inspiring Young People. And then also we have Carl Foster, author of Self-Made. So let's introduce our first guests, which are Darwin Bernardo and Rui Octavio, co-founders of Nutmeg Community. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Very well, very well.
So you're both co-founders. So tell me about Nutmeg and how it all came about and what you're doing with that.
Nutmeg started in 2008, obviously after one of our friends was stabbed to death outside our school gates in Edgware.
Was a close friend of both of you?
It was a close friend to us and very popular in the school. And as a result, a lot of the kids didn't know what to do in the community. There wasn't a sense of trust amongst young people. And in a sense, you sort of wanted to feel, actually, this shouldn't be a community I should be living in. I actually want to inspire young people to get involved in something. So as a result, we started the Nutmeg Community, where we got local authority members to get involved, where we got sort of the police to come down. And as a result...
How supportive were they, like the community?
Very, very supportive, because obviously they knew something tragic had happened to our community. And as one borough, they all wanted to do something positive together. So it's really easy to get everyone together and actually, do you know what, let's all stand together, united as one. Whereby we got the Muslim community, the Jewish community all involved, and everyone just embraced the movement that Nutmeg had started then.
Yeah. How did you feel when that happened to your friend? Was he aiming for big things in life? How did you feel when that happened? Yeah,
he was an aspiring footballer, very popular in the school for QPR especially, and obviously he had good parents that obviously motivated him and kept him on the positive side. And it was tragic to hear that obviously he was stabbed to death. So the community was confused on why it happened to him. You know, the good die young is what people say, but for obviously the Nutmeg work that we do, we try to keep his memory alive, try to let other young people know that there's still more you can do, and if he was here today, we know this is what he'll be doing as well, motivating other young people to stay positive in life.
Okay. And Rue, what ages do you actually help?
We help young people aged from 11 to 19, but we do occasionally get people over that age group. Travelling from all sorts of areas, coming into events, because we're all about trying to rejuvenise and energise the young people, because during the time when we started the organisation, there's a lot of talk around knife and gun crime, and we often felt that the young people were being victimised. Those that had goals, had ambitions, people were often telling them, you can't do this or you can't do that, rather than this is what you can get involved in.
I've heard of teachers, I've spoken to people that the teachers have actually told them, look, you might as well give up because you're not going to get anywhere in life. And I think that's such an awful thing to say to a young person, even if you see that they might be not good at a certain subject, but I think that's a terrible thing to say to a young person, because I think everyone's got potential.
Yes, most definitely, and that's what we're trying to do, create a brand, a vibrant, a lively brand which young people could be associated with, and us as well being local within the community, young people could relate to us and say, wait, he lives down the road from me, and if he's trying to do something positive, then I could be involved as well. And I remember at the time I was at university, because I come from a big family, I'm the oldest of 7. I sat down in my room trying to do this dissertation, and I seemed to have lost a purpose for living. I thought, you know what, after I finish uni, I'm going back to my area. What can I do to help my younger brothers coming up? They need role models, they need someone to show them direction, they need someone to kind of show them or make them aware that even if you're coming from a certain community, you can still aspire to do something. That's why we decided to set up the Nutmeg Community. It just added a bit more meaning to life.
Can you just give us some examples of how you actually help young people, how you motivate them, things like that?
One of the key things that we do with Nutmeg is obviously raising awareness of other organisations, and I think that's something that still needs to be amplified more in today's society, where we're able to refer young people to organisations that have set themselves up for a very long time, but just need more young people to engage in their projects.
What kind of organisations?
Well, self-development, like for example the Big Challenge, the Challenge UK, that focus on sending young people out of London to take part in residentials, camping, expeditions, and just give them sort of real life experience on what it's like to live in the country and get out of the city of London, because obviously in London you see a lot of stuff, you have role models in your area, but I think when you come out and you meet new people from outside of London, people from Manchester, Birmingham, you actually feel like, wow, I don't even live in the same borough as you, but yet I can relate with you. And I think those are the key things that we try to promote to young people, the awareness of services that are out there, but yet they just may not be aware of it. And I think that's something that really keeps us key with young people, because we can actually say to them, there's this going on at the moment, do you want to get involved? Or Barclays Bank are running a workshop for young people, do you want to get involved? Barnet Homes are doing this work experience for young people, do you want to get involved? And it's opening doors for them.
Because otherwise a lot of them wouldn't be aware of what's out there, because some of them, because I know the government says a lot like, you know, we need to create things for youths to do because they're bored and stuff like that, but it's not just that, because there's lots of youth centres that are open and they go there and the youths go there and they play pool and snooker and all sorts of things, but then they still get themselves into trouble. So it's more than that, it's actually getting them engaged in something positive, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got this saying that we say that young people are often branded as disadvantaged. We don't believe they're disadvantaged, but rather we believe that they are disengaged from some of the positive activities which will allow them to enhance their development and achieve whatever they want to do. So our E2G events, unity events, where we come together to celebrate positive contribution in the community.
What do you do during those events?
We have, first session is about making them learn. We've got workshops on, you know, anti-knife and gun, personal development, volunteering, and whilst they're there, we've got stands of different organisations which provide them volunteering or personal development, stuff that they can do to use their time constructively. Because some of these organisations do struggle to bring young people in, so it's an opportunity for them to learn something, but also be exposed to other organisations that are there to help them. And then from there on, we moved on to the second part of the event, which involves like a talent showcase or a celebration of unity within the community, where we get young people who have very talented, they can dance, they can sing, they can do poetry, they're very inspirational and they're positive, and they get an opportunity to go on stage and showcase their talents in front of the whole community. So they
build confidence as well.
Definitely.
Doing that.
So there's about 300, 400, 500 people that normally come to these celebratory events that we hold.
I was reading on your website as well that you help people to make wise choices. How do you do that?
I think it's from the fact that when they see what we're doing, and they actually, oh, I saw you in the newspaper, oh, I saw you on the Chrissy B show, you know, stuff like that kind of empowers them and makes them think, hold on, he lives 2 blocks away from me, he lives just around the corner. Actually, I can get involved with something positive. It doesn't matter where you start, it's really how you're about to finish. And I think the more we keep going out there, keep promoting the message of we can do this in our community, you know, it doesn't matter how you're starting, but just keep going. Then in that, I believe that's empowering them to actually make wise decisions for themselves, whereby, yeah, we all have bad friends, we all have good friends, but it's how you as an individual will empower yourself to get involved in something that could obviously help you in your future. And I think from the moment we embed that into them, that it's your responsibility for taking actions for your own lives, then they actually start feeling a sense of ownership about themselves.
It's true, because sometimes you get people saying, but my parents have been like this to me, that I've had a lot of bad luck happen to me, things go wrong for me. Or, you know, it's not my fault that I live in this area, but actually everyone has the power to decide what they want to do with their life. They don't have to follow what maybe their parents did, maybe if they were bad role models or they were with people in college or whatever. They don't have to follow those role models, those bad role models. They can decide for themselves, which is really good. Now, I'm not ignoring the Olympic torch next year. We have to know about that. So, people, we've got an Olympic torch on the Chrissy B show, and I'm so happy. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one running with it. Darwin was. So can everybody see? So you can tell us about that, Darwin.
Oh, where to begin? It was a fantastic experience. I ran the Hackney stretch on Saturday, the 21st of July. I had friends and family all come down, which was fantastic.
How did you get chosen to do that?
My teacher from London Academy nominated me, which then went to the Samsung Relay Torchbearer sponsorship program. And then obviously they had to select someone that they wanted to represent what Samsung stood for. And I was quite lucky to actually be selected for it. And ever since, it's just been phenomenal. You know, when you get to see your friends and they're talking about, I saw you on TV, you did fantastic. It just gives...
I had a clip to show, we should have brought one in.
Yeah, I should. I'll definitely send one through.
And put it on our Facebook page if you give to me.
Definitely, I will do. Yeah, and it's just, it gives them more of that feeling that, do you know what, even more young people in my community are doing great stuff. Because this is history, you know, having an Olympic torch, like, I'm here holding it in front of you. Many people wanted to, but don't get the opportunity to. So it's just really keep going on and saying, I do a lot for my community. I love helping my community. And one day when Samsung picks you up and says, we want to sponsor you and we want you to be our torchbearer, you kind of go back to your community and say,
This is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm doing. You can also get involved. And, you know, the torch is fantastic. It's contributing to, obviously, the Olympics ethos, which is inspire a generation. And this is what I hope to do whilst I'm with the torch. In my local community, I go to schools with it.
Do you take it everywhere with you?
Yeah, literally everywhere.
You put a chain around your neck and just walk around with it.
It's great because when I go through, I went to Barnet Homes, one of our key sponsors, and then all the staff members just went crazy. I mean, I had to be dragged out by security. They all just enjoyed seeing it, and it's something that you really love. The fact that even organisations are still getting involved with you.
That's really good.
And they still continue to support you, which is always fantastic.
Congratulations for
Thank you very much.
So tell me a little bit about your ethos before we finish, because we've almost run out of time. I told you the time would fly, didn't I? Your ethos is opportunity favours the prepared mind. That sounds very deep.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I was trying to work out, what do they mean? I thought I have to ask you.
I read a quote once on the internet, I can't remember who it's from, and it stated that opportunity favours a prepared mind. And for me personally, I felt that if your mind is prepared for opportunities, then you know where to look for it. For example, I left school with really bad grades. I was in learning support for 7 years of my school life. And I just needed something to do to keep me motivated, because obviously your friends are excelling in life and you're still the left behind. So you're just looking for any opportunity that you want. And my mind was prepared for anything to get me out of this sort of, he's not doing enough in school. And I just think when you're prepared for something, then opportunity will just come at you and you know exactly where to look for it. So that's why I stick by the opportunity favours your prepared mind.
That's great. And Rui, I'll let you have the last word as well. So what would you say to young people that think they don't think much of themselves and they think they're not capable? What would you say to them?
I mean, I completely empathise with a lot of young people at the moment and what they must be going through. I remember when I graduated, I was unemployed for about 7 months. You know, felt the whole weight of the world on my shoulders. I'm the eldest of 7, so my brothers...
7? Wow.
Yeah, so my brothers were looking at me, you know, waking up, in and out the house, looking for a job, getting rejected. And I was, you know, when I was young, I was the good boy. So the good boy, you want to see results. And I just felt like the results weren't happening at the moment. But then I heard a quote which basically said, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. And that's one of the quotes that really, really inspired me and just, you know, kept me optimistic and positive, and I continue to persevere from there.
That's great. Great advice for everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on the show. And, you know, if you do want more information about their organisation, everything's going to be up on my website, chrissybshow.tv. So hope to see you again, and good luck with everything that you're doing. And do let us know about the big events that you're going to have as well. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
So after the break, we'll also be talking to Naweed Shams and Marla Morkin from Inspiring Young People, and they're going to have lots to share with us as well. So join us after this break.